I'm talking here with Benoit Duchene of Tata. Benoit, you gave a presentation about transformation and you were saying it's going to take courage and determination to pull this off. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. Transformation is a matter of courage because basically we need to have the full organization behind the transformation. It's easy to keep things comfortable, it's easy to keep things the way we do it and do it well. What is difficult is to change, it's to transform. And this is why we need the engagement of the top management, the middle management, because there is collateral damages with transformation and people don't like it, but that's the way forward.
And talking about people not liking, what are some of the things that, say, the CXOs, what causes them to lose sleep at night at the moment?
I think CXOs are very worried about the fact that costs are increasing due to the legacy networks that are turning to new generations. It means transition has overlaps is additional cost. So we see costs inflating in terms of CapEx, in terms of OpEx, and this is a big worry for them. The second worry for CXOs is the fact that revenues is not accelerating by default because data and voice gets more and more utility. And utilities have lower and lower prices. Competition is higher and higher. And they don't sleep with that because basically they don't see where is going to be their stream for additional revenues, for growth, for shining.
Now, it wasn't all bad news because you gave them some practical solutions. Let's talk about the efficiencies first of all.
Yeah, I gave to them something like 6 domains that they should look at, and I gave 2 specific, one with a deep dive. One was about the lab, that they could completely transform from physical labs into regional labs, into virtual labs. It's a bit like, I was mentioning the yachts. Yachts are used for 5 or 10% of the time. Same with labs. And if we don't change that with reservation means that are automated, instead of having project managers that are sequencing the different players to come to the labs and do their work, we could do that remotely. We could do that through stimulation of the networks in the labs that have been virtualized. And there are plenty of ways of doing that thanks to the software and the change of the processes. That's one. The second thing I was mentioning to them is the predictive fault management. It's a very exciting domain because if you can predict the fault, then you can anticipate your campaigns when it comes to field management. Then you can basically orchestrate your spares management to be optimized, to minimize the emergency costs that are actually 10 times more expensive than the normal one. There are plenty of ways of improving the way we operate if we basically transform and change those processes and ways of working thanks to software, thanks to change of way of operating.
And even more exciting, you talked about how they could accelerate their revenues.
Yeah, I mean, they dream about it. I mean, accelerate revenues. I gave, again, 4 domains for them to accelerate their revenues. And I will just highlight one now. When we look at the time it takes for SME, or let's take the example of Starbucks. Starbucks, when they want to get a new connectivity, for them it means that they need to have a new connection thanks to their operator to their sites. And it takes something like 60 days nowadays to get the connectivity activated. What we're saying is thanks to automations, thanks to change of processes, we've done it. We are capable to do it in 20 days. You save 40 days in your time to market. 40 days in a year, it's more than a month, it's more than 10% additional revenues that you generate just thanks to the fact that you have been delivering the services faster. It's a very simple example. It's real, it works, it's done. You just need to basically transform your processes, have more software integrated and automated to do it. Simple example, but real life. And again, if you want to do that, you need to have the courage to transform, you need to have the determination for it, because it's something that will create some discomfort.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
You're very welcome. Happy to be with you.